So now we're on to page 3, which will also be page 8. Now, page 3 and page 8 will finish off looking the same, but I have done them slightly differently. So you're seeing what page 3 looks like. Page 8 is almost identical, and page 8 follows the instructions in the book, and I'll explain how and why. Okay, so let's take that off. Keep that. And let's open up page 3. So let's take all the bits out. Probably a good idea if I showed you what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is page 3. It will have a tie ribbon, and then it opens up and opens up, and then you've got 2 pockets there. I haven't got anything to put in the pockets, but I can show you. That's too thick. You've got a pocket. You have got a pocket there and there. So let's have a go at this one. So in your pack, you will have your 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 base. This time you won't have a 6 by 6 piece. You'll see why in a minute. You will have 2 pieces that make up another 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I've cut them diagonally. You will have 2 pieces of 6 by 6, which again I have cut diagonally. You will then have, now this is where it will be different from page 3 to page 8. Okay, page 8 I followed the instructions that are written down. Page 3 I wanted to make it slightly easier for you. So what you will have that's different is that on page 8 this will be cut across here, okay, which is easier to do than doing it this way, but this way is easier to put together. So I wanted to show you both ways of doing it, okay. And then you've got 4 triangles, 2 card and 2 decorative paper, and the decorative papers have come off here. So what I've done for the first one is I've done all the measuring and just cut those. For the second one I've cut across there, so we've cut 1 piece, and then you've got the 2 bits cut off, but you've then got to match up this bit to this bit, which is the way it will come in the instructions if you wanted to make another one, which was why I wanted to make sure you had it as per the instructions, but also slightly easier way for the first time you did it. And then you will have 2 pieces of card which have got a score mark down the middle. Okay, so we're going to start by mounting our small triangles. We're putting the big triangles to one side for a moment. Mounting our small triangles like that and like that. They will only go one way. And what you want to do when you do it, so let me show you. So I'm going to put my glue on here. Whoops. Take it right to the edge, so you're not going to have a border on the 2 straight sides, but you're going to have a nice border on the hypotenuse, to use a posh word. Okay, so your border you want predominantly on the slanted side, the hypotenuse, and we'll do the same on this one. Okay, Now obviously the two card triangles have been cut from a larger piece, and in the instructions, the written instructions, it tells you the size of the piece to cut, and then your piece in the middle, you just, it becomes scrap. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and this is why, I've done that, oh no, I'm going that way, that's it, going that way. Okay, so this would be my whole piece, my 6x6 piece. Okay, so I'm going to stick this. Now my pattern will be the wrong way up, but because I want my my little pockets coordinating, then it will be the right way. So I'm going to have that there, like that, and then these are going to go there and there. Okay, so again, put your finger where you don't want to glue. So the only way you can glue it is to glue over it. Two edges, just move that out of the way. Two edges and glue it down. Leave your border. So you want to line up your paper so that it lines up and you know you've got your border exact then. Now you can line up the pattern if you want to, but I quite like a contrast. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So that's the bit I don't want to put the glue on. You can probably tell that I have put the glue on the wrong piece so many times. I've had to give myself a way of doing it now. And they will cross over a little bit at the bottom. So just make sure they're straight in that crossover. Okay, now I've got slightly more of a border showing that side, so I might have just taken that a little bit over. If I'd done that side first, I could have seen that I got slightly more of a border, but that's just one of those things. Okay, so that is now a pocket, and you can have it as two pockets, or I haven't got anything big enough. You can have it as one pocket with one big photo inside. So we're now going to take these two little pieces and we're going to fold them. Now these are really simple to make, and you can make them if you forget to put a hinge. Okay, the reason I haven't done them is because we've got bits all over the place, so it was easier to do a separate hinge, and also you're going to have to cut these a little bit. So there's one, and we'll just do the other one. Go from the middle, Sarah, always from the middle, push it out, push it out, and because it's a hinge I can go both ways if it makes it easier. I think in this particular instance it doesn't because it's quite long. Okay, so from the middle out, from the middle out, and there's my two hinges. So I'm going to take one of my big triangles, and what we want to do is we want to hinge it onto here. Now when we put the hinge on to here, which is where we want to put it, it is obviously going to have a bit left over. So this is where you can come back to your yellow card, sorry, your yellow paper. So I'm just going to stick it, move that out of the way so that you can see, stick it onto half the hinge. Okay, so this is my hinge, but I obviously only want this on the first half because the other half's going to go on the main page. Stick it where I want it to be, and then I'm just going to use a piece of my yellow card to hold it down so that I can then cut off this little bit of extra that I don't need. Okay, So now I know that I've got that completely in the right place. See how easily the yellow tape comes off, and I've got my mitered corner there. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on here, just checking I've got that right, and then I'm going to line that up so that it's on the crease but not over the crease. Okay. Tighten that down, and then that is then this piece is going to open up, and the glue this time is going to go on the underside. Now thinking about it, and it's too late, I might just take a little tiny bit off there as well. Obviously nowhere near as much as I took off the other side, but then I know it won't be too bulky. So I'm going to stand this up so that that bit is on the flat, this bit is standing up, so that I know I'm not impinging on that hinge at all. I can push that down, and then I can turn it over and really give it a good stick down. Now you will need to give this a really good burnish, either with your fingers or with a tool, because it is thick card, it doesn't really like bending, and it will do anything it can to unstick. So really give that a good going over. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the other side, so make sure you know which way round you're going. Okay, so that is going to go onto there, so I'm going to line it up. The top and bottom will line up, it's just that you've got that little extra piece. Put a bit of yellow tape on it, and then I always go underneath that. Oh, she says taking a bit too, not quite enough off there. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't quite match up, you just don't want it showing. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take the yellow tape back off, and I'm going to put some glue on this side. And pop that under there. Line it up so that it's not over the hinge. And you can see now you can't see any of that underneath. Then turn it over, give it a good burnish down, and then open it up, and you're going to put the glue on this side this time. The glue is coming out really fast, so sorry about that. Okay, flat down, gluey bit flat down, the other bit up, so you know it's not going to affect the hinge. Line it up, I just need to slide it a little bit. Whoops, not that much. Ridiculous amount of sliding went on then. Okay, so that you know that that's going to come down. I still think that's a bit high. Just going to lift it up so I can see what I'm doing. I wouldn't normally be doing this sitting down, but if I stand up, all you'll see is the top of my head, which is not what you want to see. Okay, so again, give that a really good stick down. Okay, so now you just want your 4 bits of decorative paper, and again you can choose. I think I'm going to go for the darker pieces on the inside, like that, and then my lighter pieces on the outside. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so darker pieces on the inside, like sure you've got a border all the way round. Stick that down to there. And do the same. Always just make sure that they're going in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on this and getting my border correct. That's going to go there. And then fold that one over. And I'm going to put the lighter one on there. And you'll see all the way through, I check and check and check and check that they fit, that you've got your nice border. So a bit of glue onto there. That's going to go on there like that. Just lift it up, slide it so that it's in the right place. And then this one is going to go on the top like that. I always think it's better to check and double check rather than stick all the glue on and then find it's not going to fit. Okay, so that just needs to, oops, slide up a little bit. There we go. So that goes like that. Now again, this does need a bit of ribbon. So a little bit of double-sided tape. So, and I'm judging my half for this. If I was doing one to make, I would be using my half measures and getting it exact. In fact, I didn't even line that one up with a ruler, which was a bit naughty. Find my ribbon again. Now I hope I've given you more than enough ribbon to do the things that you need to do. But what I would say is don't go absolutely mad and have great long pieces of ribbon. So I'm going to have one that side and one that side. I don't need it as long as I've got it at the back here. Put my scissors down and promptly lost them. Okay, so that again that will tie very neatly across the front there, like that. And then go back to our book. Oops, page 1, page 2, that's page 3. So page 10, page 9, it's going in page 8. So I'm going to put some glue. Now one of the things that I might suggest is when you've made your book, you put some arrows in so that you know every page is facing in the right way up. The number of times I've done an Australian page, it's not a bad idea just to draw yourself some arrows so that you know everything is going up the same way. Okay, and I'm going to come round like that, and that is going to go there. Lift it up just so that you can get it properly in place. Undo these and then get in there with your burnishing tool. Particularly around the edges, and you might need to just lift it a little bit because you've got the bulk from the other pages as well. Okay, and then that's that one done and ready to go like that.